Hi, I'm Matthew.
I'm Leonard Ng, I'm with YHA Lawyers.
Today we are going to talk about whether a car park can be rented out to third parties. If I'm living in a strata development,
Alright.
can I rent out my car parks?
There's no direct answer to this. Alright? It's yes and no. It depends on who you're renting it to. Now, assuming if you're renting out your main parcel to this particular tenant, and at the same time your car park is rented out also to this tenant, the same tenant who is renting your main unit, then the rental of the car park is permissible because the use of your accessory parcel is connected to the main parcel. Likewise, if you rent out to third party and this individual is also not using your main parcel, right? But you rented it out for commercial gain, then that is not permissible.
Okay, assuming that I'm a committee member of a management corporation, I noticed that the developer actually sold the car parks to a company.
Alright.
And then the company rented out the car parks to third parties. Is this permissible?
Alright, the quick answer to that is no, this is not permissible. Reason why? We noticed that there are a lot of developers, right, who carved out accessory parcel or car park and have it parked to a single parcel, right? Parcel meaning a unit, and then have it sold to usually to related parties, right? So what's the use of these car parks? These related parties will then rent out the car parks for commercial gains to third parties. Now, remember earlier on I've already said the rental or the use of the car park must be connected to the main parcel, right? So in an arrangement like that, you can't be renting out so many car parks, right, to someone who is related to the main parcel or who is staying in the parcel, right? One tenant cannot be using 30 car parks. Is that correct? So technically, this rental of the car parks, right, would be disconnected from the use of the main parcel, and usage would be against the Strata Titles Act.
So what can I do?
You can file an action in the court to declare that the sale of these accessory parcels by the developer, right, or this car park, the sale of this car park by the developer to these individual companies to be null and void, right? The reason being, if the sale of the car park, right, to this one single unit for use of this car park for commercial gain, disconnected from the main parcel, which is against the law, right? The sale and purchase agreement or the sale and purchase transaction itself would be null and void on the ground of illegality. So back to your question, what can you do? You can file an action in the court to nullify the sale and purchase agreement. Right? You can also seek the court to pronounce that the car park, this car park which has been sold together with the main parcel, be returned back to the management as common properties.
What do you mean with use of the units and use of the car park? How are they connected?
Right. Now, first you have to understand what is a main parcel, what is a car park parcel. Okay. Main parcel is usually your house. So in a strata development, you have the house that you're staying or the unit that you're staying. That in law we call it as a parcel. Now, you are usually in a strata development, you usually live in the unit which is, let's say you're living on the 8th floor. So, okay, you live on the 8th floor, but your car park unit is usually on the ground floor or the first floor, right, on the lower floors. So your car park, right, your car park which is at the lower floor will be treated as a different parcel, right? But in law, the developer can carve out certain areas of the development, right, to make it as an accessory parcel, and this accessory parcel will be used together with the main parcel. And accessory parcels are usually car park parcels, or the area which is being carved out by the developer for you to put your outdoor unit of your air conditioner, right? So these are what accessory parcel is. Okay. Now, the meaning of the use of your car park must be connected to the main parcel technically means that, for instance, all right, I'll give an example of tenancy. Now, if you rent out, like earlier on the example which I've given, one of the use would be renting, all right? Now, this is a use which is recognized under the National Land Code, right? Tenancy is a use under the National Land Code. We call it as, it's a dealing under the National Land Code. So the use of the main unit, let's say if you rent out this unit to tenant A, right? And this tenant A is using your accessory car parcel also, right? Then that's permissible, right? Because the use are connected with one another. But if this tenant A is not renting your main parcel, right? Let's say they are an outsider who live outside the condominium, okay? But you rent out to this outsider, then that's not permissible because this tenant is not using your main parcel, and the car park is being used for a purpose which is not connected with the unit that you have, say on the floor above, right? That's what the main parcel is.